Félicitations, Bénin! Vive le Bénin! Vive le Bénin! Je te laisse.
Breaking news out of West Africa from the country of Benin, where a military coup is underway. Soldiers have appeared on national television saying that they have overthrown President Patrice Talon, seizing power of the country. We're also getting reports of gunfire near Talon's residence that's located in Benin's largest city of Cotonou. And the West African country is sandwiched between Togo and Nigeria. In January, 2 associates of the president were sentenced to 20 years in prison for plotting a coup last year. We will have more later on at this developing story.
Dear compatriots, on this day, Sunday, December 7, 2025, we, the Defense and Security Forces, after a well-reasoned reflection, and to give peace to our country, have decided to take our responsibilities following the multiple derives of the government of Mr. Patrice Talon. These are two. On the security level, the continued deterioration of the security situation in northern Benin, the ignorance and negligence of the situation of our brothers in arms who have fallen to the front, and above all, those of their families abandoned by Mr. Patrice Talon's policy. Despite the multiple promises he has made on the media, the promotion to higher ranks of certain military men at the expense of the most deserving, the retirement of many military and paramilitary men who are still valid, suffering from accounting and hatred regulations. On the social level, the radiation of state officials, thus destroying entire families, the cancellation of the arrest by the state of dialysny, leading to the death in cascades, the detriment, the denigration of the teaching body through the creation of the category of AME, a term that translates a marginalization into a marginalization of people who are still very committed to serving their country, the poor management of the agricultural sector, the reduction or cancellation, disguised as fundamental, freedoms on the economic level, the confiscation of all vital sectors of the national economy by a minority, the installation of suffocating taxes on already poor populations, the confiscation of loans on the back of the state in total opacity, the attribution of public markets without transparency. On the political level, the total exclusion of actors with ideas judged contrary to the governance of Mr. Patrice Talon and the deprivation of certain citizens of their rights to make the choice of their candidate, the voting of criminal laws, the deportation of certain citizens of the country, the arrest and imprisonment of citizens on the basis of intimidation, regardless of what comes next. The Military Committee for the Refounding of the CMR has decided: 1. The construction of November 2025 is suspended. 2. All institutions are dissolved. 3. The activities of political parties are suspended to a new order. 4. The terrestrial, maritime and aerial borders of Benin are closed to a new order. 5. The seizure of power at the moment translates the firm will of the Military Committee for the Refounding to put an end to the exclusion of all social classes in our country without any distinction. 6. In the course of the transition and the restoration of national cohesion, the National Army will exercise to a new order the full power devoted to the state of Benin. 7. All the officials of Benin.
In the last 20 years, Africa has had 60 coups. 60 coups. Coups in Africa aren't accidents. They're features of the system, not bugs. Africa is not unstable. Africa is structurally designed to be overthrown by soldiers, by elites, by foreign hands, by anybody bold enough to drive into the capital before sunrise. Let's talk about it. For those that don't know me, my name is Timothy and I run a WhatsApp group for the Black Diaspora, a place where we study the moves the world makes around us. Every day, We break down global shifts, political patterns, and the power plays shaping black futures everywhere. We also host a Zoom meeting every last Friday of the month. Both links are in the bio. African leaders didn't inherit weak systems from colonialism. They preserved the colonial system because it made it easy to rule and even easier to be overthrown. Colonialism taught them something. If you put all power in one spot, the capital city, you only need to control that one spot to run the entire country. And guess what? They kept that blueprint. So now in most African countries, you've got the presidency, the parliament, the courts, the media houses, the central bank, the military command, the intelligence headquarters, all sitting on the same street, eating at the same restaurants, protected by the same soldiers they underpay. Of course, coups are going to happen. Why won't they? Africa is the only continent where you can seize one city and you hijack 40 million people. Meanwhile, Westerners are sitting there pretending they don't understand why coups happen. In the US, for example, you can't take over Washington and declare yourself president. Texas won't even answer your email. In the UK, seizing London doesn't give you control of Manchester, Birmingham, or the BBC. But in Africa, you take the capital and your WhatsApp status updates to new administration loading. Because the power is stacked like Jenga blocks, and anyone with enough guns or foreign backing can kick it over. African leaders love centralized power because it protects them, not the country. And guess who else loves it? Foreign intelligence agencies, mining corporations, neo-colonial governments, multinationals. Because if all power sits in one room, you only have to bribe one person. You don't need to lobby 50 states. You don't need to win elections. You don't even need to build anything. You just call the right general at 2 a.m., you wire them some money, and you have a new government by sunrise. People always say Africa has too many coups. No. Africa has too many centralized dictatorships wearing suits. So before I go, coups don't happen because Africans are chaotic. Coups happen because power is centralized, institutions are weak, leaders copy colonial blueprints, foreign powers benefit from instability, and people were never meant to have real control. Again, I say this, Africa is not unstable. Africa is easily hijacked because it was engineered that way. Until African nations spread power out into regions, states, provinces, independent courts, and local governments, every coup you see today will have a cousin tomorrow. And if that makes leaders uncomfortable, good. Let's move.
All right, welcome back, people. Today, another breaking story has come in Africa, and this is one of the stories today that it has come like a normal issues in Africa, because today a military coup in Africa, it has become a normal. And you know that a coup is not something good to welcome in the community or in any country. But why this coup has become normal in Africa? Why coup d'etat has come normal issue in Africa?
When we talk about coups, coup d'etats are a very bad thing. There's no question about it. But people need to go beyond just hearing coup d'etats and look at what is the possible origin of these coups. And coups also presupposes that these are just military people taking over power from institutional or civilian governments. But you have to understand also that there are some very bad civilian governments too. That's one thing leads to another, and therefore in analyzing that, you want to see what is the cause. What is the cause of this bad thing that has happened? And then fix it.
At this time, you know, during the past years, when you would have heard anything concerning the coup, then this brought tension. This could have brought tension in the country and across Africa, because then it means that maybe the people are going to suffer. Once the governments take over the country, the citizens are going to suffer, the citizens are going to be killed, the citizens are going to be discriminated because of the government that has taken over the country. But when today a narrative is different, whereby when you hear that the coup has happened in Africa, the people from the concerned country, they are happy and they are cheering the military governments. They are welcoming the coup. They are coming out to celebrate the victory of the coup in their government. So what is happening? Then from this, we as Africans, we must know that there is a problem somewhere. There is a problem somewhere that is consuming Africa. If African leaders cannot work towards this, then we are taking our continent in a dangerous zone. We are taking Africa in a dangerous zone.
What is with Africa and coups? A coup d'etat or coup is a sudden, forceful overthrow of a government, often led by military or government elites. Coup d'etats have been relatively common in Africa, particularly in the Sahel region. Several factors contribute to the frequency of coups in this region. 1. Coups are fueled by security challenges, with extremist militant groups destabilizing the area. Some military leaders view themselves as the nation's savior in response. 2. In some African countries, there's a lot of corruption and poverty. 3. The past colonial rule has led to instability and the rise of military-backed governments. 4. Coup leaders become popular by promising stability, security, or better governance, gaining support from certain sections of the population and encouraging their coup attempts. Niger is experiencing a coup as a result of deteriorating security situation and bad governance, according to the military. However, international leaders raise alarms of potential consequences for cooperation.
I remember I passed a clip of Joshua Maponga from Zimbabwe, a Pan-Africanist who is doing great in addressing the issues that are affecting Africa and how the influence of the foreign has come to destroy African continent. And he was saying in an interview that Africa at this time needs coup, and not just coup, but military coup. Why military coup? For protection. Why military coup? For the best governance. Because we've been having all these democratic leaders for so long, but these leaders have tried to show or prove to Africans that democracy does not work, or democracy never existed. So why it has come to the point where that Africans are now willing to have the military governments than having the democratic governments?
What's happening in West Africa should have been happening a long time ago. Finally, we have some people with some balls standing up here and taking it by force. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger is only the beginning. It's about damn time we're seeing coups left, right, and center, because these African politicians, for as long as I can remember, have not done anything within any country in Africa that I can say I'm proud of. These coups, I hope Chad is next. I hope Sierra Leone is next. I hope Nigeria comes in. I am absolutely freaking excited. The tables are turning now, and we'd be the first to jump on this bandwagon and get on the mic and say we support the coups that are happening in West Africa. And once and for all, get rid of these borders that have kept us divided, which always worked in the benefit of the West.
We had the first coup in Burkina Faso, then Niger, then Mali, and it brought out different reactions, spark reactions. Today, something different again has happened in the country of Benin in West Africa. The coup has already taken over, and the government and the military union has come out to address themselves. This is not a story. They have come out themselves to address the country, informing them for the new change that has happened in the country of Benin, whereby today the president has been overthrown and the military are in charge of Benin government. And the people of Benin are welcoming this news in a happy way. They are happy. They are cheering the name of the government of military. They are cheering the action that has happened in this country. So this clearly means that the Africans are oppressed. The Africans are tired. The Africans are depressed, and they cannot hold it long again. They cannot hold it no more. They can't hold it. Professor Pielo Lumumba once said that Africans today are coming to support unnecessary things because, first of all, they are tired, they are oppressed, and they are depressed. And the government that is supposed to be taking care of them, delivering to them, working towards them, are the same government today that are oppressing them, are the same government today that is misleading them, killing their people, destroying their properties, and they're coming out to claim themselves Democrat or democratic leaders. So at this time, my people, just a few days ago, Rwandan President Dr. Paul Kagame came out clearly on an interview and said that in Africa, we are expecting more coups in Africa. Why? Because the government of Africa has failed to deliver to the people. The government of Africa are so concerned to deliver to the Westerners or the former colonizers when their people are suffering, dying, and facing many problems, and the government is not able to help them or to do anything to protect them or to move them out of this problem. So today, this is the third country in Africa that has recently overgone through this coup. So first of all, this coup to happen, the military who are doing this process, who are doing all these coup d'etats, these are the people. First of all, you have to know that any military, the military are the very people who are trusted in the country. The military are not the people to rule the country, but are the people who are only put there to play a certain role or a major role of protection in a community in the country. But when it comes to the point whereby you see the military, the same unit that is trusted in government is coming out to do such things, then these people are also tired of their government. And they are sitting down watching how the government is misleading their people, misusing, mistreating the people, destroying instead of building, killing their people. And they are the one, the military are the one who are there to make sure that the government is in peace, the people are well protected, and they are doing their best to make sure that the people are well protected while the government are coming out themselves to kill these people. So what's the choice? They are doing this because they have no choice. They are doing this because there is no other option. So it is better they take over the government. They keep on knowing that they are protecting the people, and they are doing this to make sure that the country is in peace and their people are in peace. So first of all, as Africans, we have to fight against the imperialists. When we still having the foreign influence, like European influence, then we still have a problem. We still have a problems. If we are still having the leaders who are still supporting all these coups, all this military, all these leaders who are still submitting to the former colonizers instead of doing to their people, then we are still having a problem. And due to this, Africa is losing its focus. Africa is losing its direction. That's why we are having these kind of things happening in Africa. So today, that's a breaking news that has happened, and the youth of this country has come out to congratulate and celebrate the victory of the military coup, and the citizens in general have come out to do the same. The neighboring countries are the one who are accusing and condemning all this action because they know that they're the same people. They are the same people who are doing same things. Nothing to do to their people. That's why we always say that this country, this continent, this great continent is going to be run or to be ruled by the young people. And then you look at across all the people who are doing the coup, who are leading the coup d'etat in Africa, are the young people, because they have just tried to sit down and watch how the government is doing things in Africa, how people are suffering in the hands of so-called democratic leaders, and they feel like this useless, this bullshit. So it's better they take a responsibility. They sit on a position knowing that when they are in these positions, then the people of Africa, of their sovereign country, are going to be in a peaceful way, are going to be in a very good way. That's why we are experiencing things happening this way. So I will not take much of your time. If you have not come across this, then you have to know all that is happening across Africa. The very African leaders are the one who have caused this, who are they are the reason of all that is happening in Africa, because they're the one who came out to prove to the people that ballot does not give out a solution. Ballot does not bring out the solution, but the government or the best governance is only to go and fight for it, to go and reclaim it. And that is what Africans are doing. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome again for the next episode. I welcome you in my comment section. Give out your views so that I can continue sharing when I know what's happening. Until next time, we come with the same. Thank you very much for being here each and every day. I appreciate support. You are doing great. This is the Kenyan Explorer, and I am your presenter here. And may you be blessed. Peace out.